Good day, everyone. Charles Mundy with Exodus Logistics LLC. Just want to do another follow-up and updated overview of the website. Share my screen here. Start sharing if it lets me. There we go. And let's minimize this. First things first, I need to correct an error that I gave in the last video. I don't want to throw anybody off as far as what it is to be an independent dispatcher. The requirements are very few. You have to, of course, have an agreement between yourself and the carrier that makes you legal. And then, of course, you need EIN number. You file that with the IRS.gov website. And then finally, of course, a business license. If you're a business owner, you need a business license. The statement about insurance and power of attorney, kind of jumped the gun with that a little bit. That deals mainly with brokerages, or if you're going to be a larger entity, but just starting off as an independent dispatcher, you just need your contract between you and the carrier that makes you legal. You're a bona fide agent of the carrier, so you're able to find loans for them. And then, of course, your EIN number with the IRS.gov and the business license. What I do sometimes, though, because there are carriers who want me to sign something for them when they're so busy they can't really get to it and we need to book this load quick. So I send them what's called an express consent form, just saying, hey, he has permission to do this, it's okay, everything's good. It's not really a power of attorney, so it's not a big legal thing. So I didn't want to cause any confusion with people who may be on the fence about joining the platform and were like, okay, do I need a power of attorney? Do I need insurance? I don't want to cause any confusion. As long as you have an agreement, dispatcher agreement between yourself and the carrier. Of course, you have your business license because you're operating as a business, independent dispatching, and your EIN number for tax purposes. You should be fine. So received a call from Calvin earlier today, and he expressed that there were some people who watched the first website overview video that I posted, and it gave some kind of misleading information. So I'm kind of coming back in and kind of updating that and correcting that. Part of being a man or a woman is when you make mistakes, you correct them. So here I am. But that being said, that out the way, let's get back into, I'm going to do another overview of the website once again. Sharing my screen right now. So here we go. Home page, of course. And this is the Exodus Logistics LLC dispatching, training, and consulting platform. It's a platform in that it deals with three different areas, well, several areas, but three main different areas. It deals with dispatching for carriers. It deals with training people, individuals who are interested in becoming independent dispatchers and working from home. And it deals with consulting individuals who are being trained as dispatchers working from home. And also I'm debating incorporating also consulting carriers, because I talk to carriers and they ask me questions about different things that they may or may not understand. Like, for example, a common question is about the factory thing, and I'll tell them, well, which one do you have? Do you have recourse or non-recourse factor? And they'll say, well, what is that? So then I'll explain to them what that is, and I'll say, well, you might want to read the fine print. And then they go back and read the fine print and discover that there is something that they're not benefiting from. So consulting carriers as well as consulting independent dispatchers who are in the training platform portion of this website. And this website is going to be the central focal point of the platform. That's going to be coming through the website. The teaching tools are going to be coming through the website. Primarily on the on the training page for the students who are going to be learning how to be independent dispatchers, and then also primarily for the dispatching page for those who are owner-operators or carriers who are looking for dispatchers to dispatch loads for them. It may even come to a point where the students who are training on the training page may cross over and get a carrier who may have reached out to the dispatching page looking for a dispatcher. It may come to a point where a student has gotten so well versed and well educated in how to book loads, and they may get one of the carriers who logged into the training portion, read the welcome packet, and downloaded the dispatcher agreement and profile, and said, okay, I need a dispatcher. I'll say, well, here I am. So, but anyway, and then you have the ebook and contact us and the blog. But let's start from the beginning. The home page, if I'm sharing my screen, this is the home page, and it has the home page intro YouTube video. Talks about, give a brief overview. I'm not going to click it. The home page is just basically explaining who we are and what we do. The dispatching page, again, it's catered to owner-operators who are looking for help, assistance, or that other option in finding good paying freight, keeping themselves running with loads. So they'll click to this page. And again, the main web address is www.exodusdispatchingandtraining.com. But on the dispatching page, they'll click this page and they can either listen to this little intro of the welcome page, or they can actually scroll down and see that there's a welcome packet, which is a PowerPoint, which they can download to their local machines, dispatcher service agreement, and a carrier profile, which they can download to their machines. So, and then you have, in addition to that, you need, for the owner operators, you'll need a copy of your MC authority, the W-9, and the certificate of insurance to submit when you are being considered as having someone dispatch for you, because these are the basic commonalities or common forms that are asked of by brokers and direct shippers when booking loads. Of course, the dispatch agreement and profile is for us as the dispatchers, but also for us and for the brokers and shippers to book the loads, instead of constantly going back and forth, sending you emails or calling the owner operators and bugging them. Why not just get a copy of their MC authority, a copy of their W-9, and a copy of the certificate of insurance, add that on file in your system in like folders or on an external hard drive or wherever you want to store as an independent dispatcher the information for specific carriers. So when you go and find loads and book loads and you contact brokers, that information will be readily available. You wouldn't have to keep using that time to call the carrier. Carrier may be busy, carrier may be asleep, they may be away from their phone, but if you have this information already, you just save yourself a lot of time. So on this page, the carriers download our dispatch agreement service, the carrier profile, and the welcome packet. And of course, you want to always mention that the main equipment types, the three main equipment types that we try to focus on are the 43 and 53-foot and 48-foot flatbeds, the 53-foot reefers, and the 53-foot dry vans. I'll make note. I do hot shots. I mean, they're a challenge. They're not impossible. They're just it's just that these are the three main equipment type for moving freight. I used to get myself involved in straight trucks, but I don't. I had an Amazon fulfillment contract that fell through, so that would have been good, but it didn't. It just didn't work out. But time and time again, over time and throughout time, 48 and 53-foot flatbeds, 53-foot reefers, and 53-foot dry vans are the common freight movers out here in the industry. Okay, so again, this is the dispatching page, very straightforward with the video that talks about it, a little welcoming for it, and this is for owner operators who are interested in having you as an independent, or anyone as an independent dispatcher, service them, be another option for them to provide loads, keep them running with backhaul, main loads. So, and we'll get into these terms as a person is on the platform within this training page portion of the website. This platform here is and my goal is to integrate it with the National Dispatchers Networks platform. Still coming up with a price point. Calvin and I, who heads the National Dispatchers Networks platform, we discussed price points and discussed ideas of how to incorporate this platform into that platform, maybe as a package deal, and then offer that service together or individually, but still kind of together. So we're still working on ideas for that and ironing that out. So we will continue to discuss that and bump heads on that and come up with a decision which is most beneficial, of course, for the students on the platform, because we want everyone to learn this business in order to make money, working from home, being your own boss, and that's it. Okay, so this is the dispatching page. So next is the training page. I clicked on the training page. I'm already pre-logged in because typically when this is the main area of study for those who are interested in being independent dispatchers on this platform and learning the basics of how to book freight, from calling the carriers, getting them signed up, running the scripts, getting them signed up with the agreement, and then finding loads, speaking to brokers, booking the loads, all the way down to invoicing, and then you finally getting paid. So so on this training page, I've already pre-signed in, but when you first come in, let me log out just to give you an example, because I'm sharing my screen, and this is kind of a like pre-teaching thing. So let's go back to dispatching page. Okay. So if you come in as a student or someone who wants to learn how to be a dispatcher, you'll see this initially in what the sub-pages are, forms and documents, workflow of dispatching, and Dispatcher 101 explained. Workflow of dispatching is kind of an intermediate, high level. Dispatcher 101 goes into a little bit more detail. I'm either going to present videos about it or maybe do a screen share like I'm doing now. And then, of course, carrier searches, how to find the carriers, what resources that are used to find the carriers and how that's done from an elementary or a basic standpoint, and then load boards, which is what boards that are used. The main load board that I'm going to use as a teaching tool is the main one that I use, which is ITS, Internet Truck Stop. I do also have access to 123 load board, Truckers Path, ComFreight. There's several others, that Power, but the main one that I use is Internet Truck Stop, and I will and that's the main one that I will also provide a login for in the training platform for others to use. I just hope that it doesn't get misused and abused, so we all can continue to learn. But this is the training page, and so when you first get here, when you pay and purchase the platform, you'll come here and you will be given a sign-in. But if you are here now and you click any of the sub, you'll come here and sign in, but you won't have access to it. So you'll X out of here, and that's true for each case. Each stub, my laptop is a little bit, there we go. So you click either one, and this is a good, it's not only a teaching tool, but it gives me an opportunity to make sure that it does work like it's been intended to work. So if you click each one, So there. So now, so the only one you'll get to is like the beginning page of the training page where you can log in and you can see the videos and you'll just see the basics of the training page. But when you sign up and log in, you can either sign up, it'll send an alert to my email. That'll either be, what I'll do is then I'll send the invoice to you for whatever the price point is to join the platform, and then we'll go from there. But right now, I'll just go ahead and log in. And the login that I used, and the password, that should work. Let's see, I was going to retype it, but that's fine. I'm not going to hit remember me. So now it's logged in. And I noticed too, a little sidebar, when you log in onto the platform, the actual blog has you as a person logged in. I wasn't aware of that, but that's good. So if more than one person is logged in, they can probably communicate and talk amongst themselves as a community. But now, once you log in to the training link on the website, which is the main area of where the instructions of this platform will be based, you come across the 5 different subsections. Now, if you click Forms and Documents, you will enter into the Forms and Documents area, which you have this little information to read, talks about, and then you have the forms and documents that are in here. There is no video, it just has the forms and documents. It has my specific company's dispatch agreement. You'll notice the percentages are different than the National Dispatching Network. That's fine. Then you have my company's Exodus Logistics profile sheet, and then you have sample other documents. I have a sample Word document of an MC Authority, sample certificate of insurance, what that looks like, a sample W-9 form, a sample notice of assignment. A notice of assignment is, as a little sidebar and review, is what if you have a carrier who has a factoring company. Then the factoring company gives the carrier a notice of assignment form to submit to the broker when they turn in their carrier packets when booking a load. The purpose of the notice of assignment form is to have the factoring company run a credit check on the broker to ensure that they are paying, because they're, for whatever reason, contrary to popular belief, not all brokers are honest, but or not all brokers, I should say, pay. So if the notice of assignment comes back and then the factoring company runs the information based off of what was filled out on a notice of assignment, then and the factoring company discovers that this brokerage or this shipper doesn't pay well, or they have a not so good rating, or there's an alert on them or a red flag, then they want to accept the bill of ladings or the BOLs or the proof of deliveries from the carrier for that load. Or they'll even tell the carrier prior to the carrier finishing the carrier packet, say, well, don't even put yourself through that headache, man. Because if your factory company doesn't accept, or let's say, okay, yeah, this is a bad broker or this is a bad broker, then you as a carrier have to make a decision. Well, man, and you depend on this factory company, because the factory company gives you your money up front minus their percentage, and then they'll go after the broker shippers for the remainder, the balance. You'll get your money. So, but if a factory company is saying, hey, well, if we're going after the brokers for our money, but these brokers are not known to pay, then it's us, the factory companies, that are going to be losing in the end. So that's what the NOA notice of assignment form does. It protects the factory company and ultimately protects you as well from that. So it's kind of like a safety net. And then a sample rate confirmation and sample carrier package. So carrier package and rate confirmation, they go hand in hand when you book a load. And we'll get into detail of that a little bit later in the training as we go along. Carrier packers are when you call as an independent dispatcher, when you call a broker or shipper to book a potential load that you may have seen on load board or gotten word of a load, then the broker or shipper person that's in charge there will say, okay, yeah, this load is still available. What's your MC number? You give them the MC number, and you can give them the MC number, especially if you are if you have an agreement already with the carrier. So there have been cases where I've seen people on the RPBS chat group say, well, I don't want to give an MC number to a broker or shipper because I think they're gonna steal my load and things like that. Well, if you are if you don't have this carrier under an agreement, then of course. But if they're under an agreement, then you're protected because that's your carrier. So, but give them the MC number, let them run it. They'll check their system. I'm assuming they'll check their TMS system or whatever database that they have to see if that carrier is in the system, and if they are, then the carrier packet step or stage, which is a big stage in some cases, because some carrier packets are like this thick, but some of them are okay. But if they're in the system, then they can avoid the carrier packet stage because everything's already been filled out and submitted and ran through their compliance office and everything came back and checked out fine. So you only have to worry about the rate confirmation and getting that back and making sure that the rate confirmation matches up with the amounts that was listed on the load when it was posted. Say it was $2,000 load, but the rate confirmation comes back as $1,800. You're like, wait a minute, the load said $2,000. Why are they doing? So you will have to talk to the broker and say, well, there's a discrepancy here. It was posted for $2,000, but you got $1,800 on here. And broker say, oh, I'm sorry, read. I mean, sometimes people try to be slick, so this is a dog-eat-dog business. So, but anyway, if the carrier packet, if the MC comes back and they're in the system, you don't have to worry about it. But if doing a carrier packet, but if the MC number comes back and they're not in that database of that brokerage or that shipper, then that broker or shipper say, okay, you're not signed on with us. Let me send you over a carrier packet to fill out. And this is when they'll ask you, okay, when you fill this out, I need a copy of your W-9, your MC authority, and your certificate of insurance. And you'll say, okay. And some brokers, they'll have an itemized outline of what they want in the packet when you fill it out. And under the certificate of insurance section, it'll even say to list that broker or shipper as the certificate holder on the certificate of insurance. So that's a simple process. You just contact the agent or email the agent on your carrier's certificate of insurance and let them know that, hey, I dispatched for XYZ company. We're about to book this load. I need a certificate of insurance listing this broker, ABC Logistics, as a certificate holder. Here's their name. Here is their street address, city, state, and zip. And please email it to this email, dispatch@abclogistics.com, or fax it to 888-888-8888 or whatever the number is, And that's the procedure. You either fax it, email it, or fax it back to the compliance department of the brokerage or the direct broker that you were dealing with when you're booking it, because they'll send you a carrier packet either in a generic dispatch@abc.logistics.com, or they'll send it in their name, like charles.money@exoduslogistics.com. So whichever way that's done, that's how you return the information. Once the packet is returned with the necessary information, then they'll submit that into their system, type it in. Probably takes, it depends on how fast the person is, anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour. Put that stuff in, they'll come back and say, okay, either everything's good or things are not good and we need this or we need this updated. If it comes back good, then the next thing is the rate confirmation. The rate confirmation shows what the load is paying, the pickup date and time, the delivery date and time, special instructions, things like that. Make sure that you read the rate confirmation and make sure that it matches up with what was posted again. And in some cases, in most cases, I'll say send it over to the carrier to sign. There's been cases where I have been in a situation where my express consent form came into play, and my carrier said, "Go ahead and sign it. You get my permission because we have an express consent form on file." And I will go ahead and sign their name, and put that in, and send it back to the broker. So, but in most cases, from a beginner standpoint, until you learn and get that process down, send all your paperwork that needs to be signed to your carrier. Let them handle it and send it back to you, and then you keep a copy for your file, and then you shoot it back to the broker or the direct shipper. That way, you are kind of in the middle of the process, which is where you need to be, because you're the go-between between the carrier and the broker or the shipper. Okay, so this is the forms and documents section of the training platform. You got sample forms. You can download these and look at them and get an idea of what they look at. So when you do come across them, you already have an idea of what they are. You'll know what to expect. Okay. Next, workflow of dispatching. And then I just take this workflow of dispatching is a PDF that I created on a while back when I was on the National Dispatching Networks platform, and it still works to a very good degree. And this is a high level. The next one, which is the Dispatcher 101 ebook explained, is more granular. It goes in a little bit more detail, and I'll explain that one. I'm gonna probably do a separate video for this one as well as this one, and more than likely the rest of them. So, but right now, the workflow of dispatching, once your carrier emails you back to sign dispatch agreement, you contact the broker with the load that you need to book for that. That's assuming that you've already been on the load board, you've already been over that process and learned how to find the load. And then you contact the broker, say, I found this load on the load board X that shows, this, and this. The broker say, what's your MC? And they'll run their checks. Then the broker will want to send a load rate confirmation sheet to the carrier in order to get it signed on. That's assuming that they are in their system. If they're not in the system, they'll send them a packet. I think I mentioned that in there. They will send a packet. Yep. Read everything. Read. You get the rate confirmation back. Sign it. Get it back to the broker. Carrier signs it, sends it to you. You send it back to the broker, and then keep a copy for your records. Communicate with the carrier. Communication is key. Communicate. And then once the carrier drops the load, they're going to receive a what's called a delivery receipt. But the common name for it is called BOL, the bill of lading. It's proof of delivery. When they get to the receiver, they'll go up to like either a little window area, go in there. After they're offloaded, a lumper or someone will come out there and tap the truck. I've been through this process before several times. And then they'll go in there, get the receipt, proof of delivery, make sure everything checked out, any damage freight, stuff like that. And then this process is where you're actually done with the load, but you have the BOL. Then the invoicing process comes where you upload the carrier will send you a copy of the BOL for you. Particularly, this portion right here applies mainly for the National Dispatcher Network students, where a copy of the BOL, a copy of the dispatcher agreement, the rate confirmation is emailed to, I think it's still dispatch@rbbstransport.com, correct me if I'm wrong. For my specific company, once the carrier has delivered, I pretty much just invoice the carrier and then send them a copy of the rate confirmation that they had received from me when the load first got booked. I don't need the BOL. It's good to have as extra proof of delivery. But the National Dispatching Network's concept is they're doing the invoicing for the students. So they are handling that back end. That's why they need the extra copies of BOLs and rate confirmations, the copy of the dispatcher agreement, things like that, because they want to remind the carrier that this is what's owed to them. And also in that email that they send to dispatcher at dispatch@rbbstransport.com, in the body of the email they list the name of the carrier, the name of the dispatcher, the broker's name, the load information, the to and from destination, things like that. So everything is very itemized and very thorough, so there is no confusion. So, but that is the workflow of dispatching. In the Dispatcher 101 ebook explained, I list the table of contents because I'm going to go into each point thoroughly when I do actually get on this part of the training with the video. And coincidentally too, when I do live weekly trainings where we go over this point over and over and over again until it gets ingrained in everyone from a basics perspective, we probably will touch up on each subsection, like section 1, like thoroughly, and maybe in one video, one week's live operational training. Then we'll go over point 2, finding carriers, maybe section A, and then section D, calling carriers. So we'll go in a little bit more detail, so much so that when you come across any aspect of dispatching, from searching for a carrier to booking the load, you'll have such a granular or a thorough understanding that I'm hoping that there wouldn't be any further questions. That's the goal that we want to get to with the basic beginners level of this platform, is to get everyone on the same page from a basic beginner's standpoint, where they can say, okay, I want to get a carrier. Where do I start? Okay, where are carriers making themselves available in need of dispatching? So you'll go to carrier searches. You'll go to carrier searches, Google, Truckers Path, a ComFreight truck search feature, a truck search feature on Truckers Path, and then you'll go there and then go from there. And then once you do that, you'll pitch the script. What's all entailed in that? How much money you need to move your truck? Person says, I don't want 10, I like 10%. What's a different percentage? Or I don't want to deal with you guys, or what have you. My percentages are different. There's a variation in my percentage, but I'm looking at it from the national dispatcher's perspective. Then next, once you get a carrier, past that point, getting the dispatch agreement signed and the profile sent back, then you have finding the loads, searching the loads, things like that. Well, before that, getting the dispatch agreement back and the load profile back. And then you have the other documents that you're going to eventually need: MC letter, W-9, certificate of insurance, NOA. See, as you notice, we're touching over some of the same things in other areas of the training, but that's good because it just pounds into you and it rehashes the commonalities that's needed in order to book a load, in order to understand how to get a carrier, in order to understand how to where to go to search for loads, in order to understand what are good loads and things like this, in order to book loads, talking to brokers, understanding the different types of equipment that's used, which is next here, finding the loads for your carriers under a dispatch agreement. Which loads are you going to look, which equipment types are you going to look for loads for? Dry vans, reefers, flatbeds, and then the equipment types that presents the most challenges initially, hot shots and straight trucks, even sprinter vans. And then you got low board types that in that truck stop, Truckers Path, there's others, 1, 2, 3, ComFreight. So this we'll go into detail as you notice, there are different subsections, but once you go into detail of each one, which I'll probably do a video of each one and log into each load board, show you each load board, show you the different features, how it operates, things like that, you be like, okay, now I'm beginning to get a little bit of understanding, and you'll start to pick up on different things. Things are being repeated over and over again. You'll say, okay, this is common, this is good. Okay, then you say, I found a load, now what? So now that you say you found a load, of course, what's next? Obviously, the next thing is you want to, of course, tell your carrier, inform your carrier, give them the basic information. Like I noticed on the RBDS chat group, when someone says, I need a load, and most people say, well, okay, what do you need it for? Where is it picked up? Where is it going? These are some of the questions the carriers are asked too. Like I had a booking today that I found a load for someone. They said, well, okay, what's the number of picks? What's the number of stops and deliveries? Or what's the pickup time, the delivery times, any appointments times, or is it first come, first serve? Any special instructions? Anything like that. These are things that you as a dispatcher need to know. Of course, you need to communicate that to your carrier too, because your carriers might be thinking that they're going through a load and they're thinking it's just one pick, one drop, and that may not be the case. It may not be one pick, one drop. It could be one pick, three drops, or it could be three pick, two drops. So if your carrier, because if the carrier doesn't know that, then they're going in blind, and it's like, okay, there's a communication gap there. The carrier's thinking, well, this is not good dispatcher. Maybe I need to consider someone else. So these are some of the things that we probably need to go over a little bit too, just to get an idea of communication. Next, once you find the load, you communicate with the carrier. The carrier says, yeah, I'm interested in that load. I want to book that load. So now you book the load. So how is that done? What's all involved in that? Of course, you're going to call the broker, because the broker owns the load. You know, there's the shipper, there's the broker and the middleman, and there's the carrier. And then you're under the carrier because you are a bona fide agent of the carrier. So the shipper, a little history lesson here, I guess. The shipper, they're the ones who control the loads. They sell the loads to the brokers. Say, for example, a shipper has a load that's $5,000, and they don't care how the load gets to where it gets to. They're only paying, that's their target rate. They call it a target rate. They sell it to the, they'll either sell it directly to the carrier. You have some direct, what's called a direct shipper, which do not deal with brokers. They'll cut the middleman out, the brokers, which are considered the middlemen and women. So direct shippers don't deal with brokers. They'll either, their target rate is what their target rate is. It's less, $5,000 is the example. They'll sell it, either they'll sell it to the broker for $5,000, or they'll sell it directly to the carrier, which is great because the carrier don't have to deal with brokers and losing any money, so they get all of the $5,000. Where the broker comes in at is the broker say, okay, the shipper sells it to me for $5,000. I'm going to take 20% of that and say, okay, I'm going to 20% of $5,000 is $1,000. So they'll turn around and resell the load to the, they'll post it to the carriers on whatever load board or whatever areas that carriers look for loads for $4,000. Now, mind you, the shipper still sells it for $5,000, but the broker is going to sell it for $4,000 and pocket $1,000. That's how that part of the world of brokering works, I mean, in a nutshell. And then the carriers say, okay, now the carrier can come in as you, if you are a good dispatcher or a carrier that can negotiate and get some of that money back, some of that $1,000 back from the broker's pocket, maybe get 500 of it back. So say, okay, I want the load, and this gives the carrier and the broker, this gives the broker a little wiggle room. They don't want to lose too much money. They got $1,000 profit, but they may end up only having 500 because they won't want to move that load, but they're not going to want to lose the load. If they don't get it at all, then they'll lose that shipper, and then they'll lose all that money. So if I'm a broker, let me put myself in the position of a broker, and I got a load I need to get moved, and I got a shipper that's constantly giving me loads, as opposed to being greedy and trying to keep all $1,000. Why not take a little bit less of it and give some of it back to the carrier, 500, and I still keep 500. That's free money still, and I get more loads. So now I'm talking volume. as opposed to being a greedy broker and say, I'm going to keep all the $1,000 and just wait till someone else who really needs a load come along and buy it. So that's that world of brokering and shipping and carriers and stuff like that. But back to booking a load from a dispatcher's perspective, we contact the broker, we check the availability of the load. There's a call script for that. It's pretty basic. You basically just asking the broker, hey, Mr. Broker, I'm checking about load XYZ going from A to B. Is this load still available? They'll say, yeah, it's still available, and they'll give you the details of the load, because in most cases that I found, now some of the load brokers, there's so much dishonesty in this world, in this business, they don't list all the details of a load, so you have to, it's like pulling teeth. You have to pull information out. The load might be 45,000 pounds. They listed it at 42. It may be so many feet. It could be extra 5 feet long, especially with dealing with flatbeds. It could be over the width or too much longer. Now you're dealing with permits and things like that. So you have to make sure that you get as much detailed information about the loads from the broker before you go back and to your carrier, because after you get all this information, you go back to your carrier and it's like, well, this wasn't posted in load. I can't handle that weight, or I can't handle that width or that length. I can't get permits, or I don't have apportioned plates for a certain state, things like that. Or I'm only interested. I can only go so far. I can't go over to this state line or whatever, So again, it's about communication, But if everything checks out and all the stars align, then booking the load should be a smooth transition from calling the broker, checking the availability of the load, getting the carrier packet set up, all that information, getting the rate confirmation, and staying in constant communication between the broker and the carrier. If in an ideal utopian world, that is how it's supposed to be. But 9 times out of 10, and in my experience, never the case. So, but let's say we get past that point. Now we'll do a video on this as well. I'm considering doing a video on that as well. So this is going to be actually an interesting training platform from a beginning standpoint, because it's going to give so much information that's going to put the independent dispatchers at an advantage when dealing with brokers and dealing with and helping their carriers finding good loads and staying on the up and up. And then, of course, invoicing the carriers. Now, this is from initially from a national dispatcher's perspective, but also Exodus Logistics perspective, my company too. I invoice a very different way. I invoice my carriers directly. Staying in contact with the carrier, of course, and then invoicing through the National Dispatching Network or outside, like mine, for example. And then try to communicate with your carrier to plan future loads. In other words, what that means is, as a good dispatcher, of course, like Calvin mentioned, today is the 29th. This past Saturday's training, Calvin mentioned that your carrier gets a load, he goes from A to B. Well, from B, when is he going to drop? How many hours does he have left? Does he have enough hours to do another load from B? Did he factor in his 10-hour reset so he'll have enough hours to move another load from B to whenever, or maybe he has to wait another day to move a load? So you're going to either find him backhaul or his next load from the place that he dropped or delivered the load to another destination, or backhaul to where he was, or some kind of triangular movement. So that's what a good dispatcher will do too. While you book this load, you're thinking in your mind, okay, I booked this load. I'm thinking, well, what's my next move? It's like playing chess almost. You're thinking about your next move. Make your next move your best move. So your next move is to find that next load. A couple of days out, maybe a week out. Keep the carrier moving. So this is the Dispatcher 101 ebook explained. It'll be probably be videos and more thorough breaking down of each subsections, so we can get all on the same page and communicate and understand everything a little bit more thoroughly from a elementary basic perspective. That's the whole goal. And then carrier searches, I haven't put anything in this section yet. Oh, by the way, this website is still kind of under development. But as I finish certain things, I'll give previews, or I'll speak about it on social media to the dispatchers and those who are interested. So the carrier searches, even though there's nothing here, what will be here will be the types of carrier searches, the different sites that you can go to find carriers. Number one, of course, is Google. Then I use the truck search feature on the Truckers Path website, and then you also have a truck search feature on ComFreight, which is one of the logins in the back office of the National Dispatchers Network. That's one good thing is being a part of a network. You still have access to resources that you can use on, like I have access to resources I can use on my platform. That's the whole point of a network. Networks are built to grow together, to help one another grow together. So that's the whole goal and point. And we're always adding to, taking away, kind of tweaking things, making sure that we're effective, because the ultimate goal is, of course, to help our carriers find those and to make money, work from home, be our own boss. So I'll show you probably in video form, and probably have some information and logins for the different carrier search websites to go to on this page. And then, of course, the load board page, I don't think I've finished that one yet either. Okay, no, there's nothing there. But the main load board that I'll use as a teaching tool in this section of the training page will be Internet Truck Stop, ITS, because I have a direct access, direct login, my account, specifically one that I actually use to book loads with. There are others that I use as well, DAT Power, DAT Trucker Edge, 123 Load Board, Nextload. We have the ones in the back office, of course, Lane, Honey, Direct Freight Services, just a host of different ones. But the one I would use as a teaching tool and actually show how to navigate and find loads based off of certain equipment types, weight, starting origins, destinations, things like that, will be Internet Truck Stop. So this is what's encompassed the training page portion. This is the main teaching tool on the platform. Again, the platform is it serves the purpose of being a dispatching page for owner-operators who need dispatchers to help them find loads, a training platform for those who want to be independent dispatchers, have their own business, work from home, make money. That's that platform. That's where the pricing comes in. Then there is the consulting page, which is another area. Here, 30 and 60-minute one-on-one consulting sessions where if you are going through the training page and there are certain things on there, even if you're going through the training with live operational training, but you still need that one-on-one. You know, you have a question that you didn't ask during the operational training, or you just someone who's shy who just don't want to ask questions. You just need to talk to one-on-one. There are consulting sessions as well. So, and that's where this is. I have a video here, it talks about it, and then the 30 and 60-minute consulting sessions. The 60-minute consulting session will consist of the 30-minute consulting session plus another 30 minutes where I log in. Well, I should say, I take that back. The 60-minute consulting session consists of what's in the 30-minute consulting session, in addition to an extra 30 minutes where I use to log into your system remotely using one of my favorite remote access tools called TeamViewer, teamviewer.com. Let's go here. TeamViewer.com is one. You have LogMeIn, you have PC Anywhere, but I like TeamViewer.com. You would go here, TeamViewer.com, and then there's a green button, download for free. You would download that, and it'll ask you If it's for personal or business commercial use, of course you'll say personal use, and then you'll download the tool. Once it downloads, let me go to my team viewer. This is my team viewer screen down here. You'll come up to a screen that looks like, once I get it to open up, it's going to open up with a little blue screen, and it's going to have a 9-digit ID and a 4-digit code, like so. So I will ask the person on the other end, I'll say, give me your 9-digit ID, and I will type it in here, whatever that number is. I'll type that in there, and then I'll hit connect. And then another screen will appear, and it'll ask for the 4-digit passcode. I'll enter that passcode there. I'll hit connect, and then boom, I'll pop into your system, and you'll see me moving my mouse around on your screen, and then now we can go over certain things on your screen while I'm on the phone with you and on the computer. So that's the remote access feature. It's very straightforward, simple to use. And that's under the consulting page. The ebook page also is kind of self-explanatory as well. But the Meet ebook series, I have a video for there. Kind of overdoing it with the videos, I think, but it's very informative though. The teaching tool I'm considering using for the platform, the training portion of the platform. The training portion of the platform, let me review that for a second. The training portion of the platform consists of enrollment, which whatever that price point is. You enroll, then you'll receive one of these three. It's probably be one of the two ebooks: Dispatcher 101 and How Much Money You Need to Move Your Truck. I think it's going to be How Much Money You Need to Move Your Truck, because that's the first installment in the ebook series and covers the basic terms and concepts. So once you pay the enrollment fee for the training portion of the platform, you'll receive an email, of course, with your login to this portion, and you'll receive a copy of the ebook, How Much Money You Need to Move Your Truck, to study under. I think I'll give the students, whenever you receive that, maybe up to 1 week from the date that you receive it. So that obviously that's going to be different times for different students, because everyone's not going to join the platform at the same time. But the quizzes that I'll give may be once a week on a certain day, maybe like a Friday or a day. So it's gonna cause a little bit of a issue. Maybe one person may have got the ebook on a Thursday and the quiz is Friday, so they might have to wait till the following Friday to take the quiz, but they may be ready or may not be ready. So I'm trying to figure that out a little bit. I may make that a little bit more variable, kind of just work it in, but I want to have some kind of structure also as well, kind of like what the National Dispatching Network is doing, where they have orientations on Mondays and live operational trainings on Saturdays. So again, enrollment, you get the logins, the login to the training page. You'll get the a copy of the ebook to study from. And then you'll take the quiz. The quiz will consist of 30 questions. There'll be 10 multiple choice questions, 10 true and false, and I think 10 fill in the blank. Upon successful completion, passing of that, I think 22 out of 30, I think it's passing, like a 75 or something like that. Whatever that number has been to be determined, I guess. Then there will be orientation. After that point, you'll receive the username and password into the training portion of the platform. So, so it's kind of I'm trying to make it structured for everyone to follow one uniform way of doing that. So, and this is just an overview of all of this. Things may change, things may be added to, things may be taken away from, but the ultimate goal is to make it very user-friendly, very basic for those who are interested in being beginning dispatchers, independent dispatchers, their own bosses, things like that, so to speak, working from home, how to move freight, stuff like that. So that's the ebook section. Of course, contact us. any questions, concerns, things like that. Click that link, name, email, subject, message, send, and then the blog. I just noticed too, I'm not really very social media versed here, but post coming soon. Under the dispatching one, I actually posted something earlier because I'm logged in. Yeah, logged in. And I posted, hello, fellow and future independent dispatchers. And because I got an email, once I posted something, I got an email because I'm the admin of the website, so it emails me everything. Now I'm going to need to control that too. But it's going to get to a point where it's going to be emailing my phone all the time, kind of like what Calvin goes through. So that's basically it. Hopefully I didn't bore you guys too long. But again, the homepage, this is general homepage, basic homepage of the website. This is the Exodus Logistics LLC dispatching, training, consulting platform. And it's for dispatching, for those who need dispatchers, which primarily owner-operators. That page provides a welcome packet, which is a PowerPoint, tells you about the company, who we are, what we do, and then the dispatcher agreement and the profile. That's the dispatching page. The training page is for those who want to learn how to be independent dispatchers and learn it from a very basic and very elementary beginner's level. Once you pay for the platform, enroll, study the quiz, pass the quiz, go through orientation, receive all you need to receive. You'll get an login for this page where you'll have access to it, and then you can access, the forms and documents. You can go over workflow of dispatching, the ebook, Dispatcher 101 explain how to search for carriers, how to access load boards, and so on and so forth. There may be other things that gets added to that. Of course, load board access will be added there, so you'll be able to follow along by accessing the load board. So I need to make sure that my login, if more than one person uses the same login, it doesn't kick a previous person out. I need to call, make sure that's the case. If that's not the case, then we may have to do something else. I may have to just teach it just myself and just show you guys via video, and then go from there. I want it to be more interactive when you actually log in as I'm logging in, where you actually be able to point and click and do it yourselves. And then carrier searches as well. You'll be able to access the different tools and resources that's used on that regard. I'm going to go ahead and log out here so it kicks me back out. And then consulting page is, of course, you just one-on-one consulting, 30 or 60-minute consultings. The ebook is where you purchase the ebook. I think I'm going to still have my special going on for a while until I think Calvin, myself, and Carrie are still doing the dispatcher load board concept is still coming out. So until that comes out, I'm still going to have the buy one get two free ebooks. So if you purchase the Dispatcher 101 ebook for $39.99, you get the other two for free, and those are the $24.99 and the $29.99. So you get a almost $50, well, $53, $2 extra value for purchasing the $40 one. So not a bad deal. So hopefully I cleared things up again. To be an independent dispatcher, of course, you just need an agreement between yourself and the carrier, the dispatcher agreement, and of course you need your EIN number set up so for tax purposes, and then your business license. That's pretty much it. Again, I made the error or the mistake of mentioning about power of attorney and insurance. I don't think that applies in this case. So I thank the National Dispatching Network's leadership and bringing that to a head and a better understanding for me, and to avoid any other future misunderstandings, because two heads are better than one. And when we see things that are that's going to affect the overall goal and purpose of the whole network and the whole platform, it's good to bring them up before, like this website and this platform is still under development, so it's good to come across those pain points and things, and to bring that to a head, and get it resolved and get a better understanding, and then represent the clearer understanding of what it was that was meant to be conveyed. So hopefully that clears things up, and I look forward to those who are interested once this platform is finally developed and ready to roll, interested in joining it to get the base beginners elementary level understanding of dispatching, independent dispatching. I think we are going to integrate it with the National Dispatchers Network's platform. So kind of a basic on my end and an intermediate to advanced level on Calvin's end. So no one can fail. You know, there's so much information, things to know that you know, the only way that a person can fail is if they don't try. So again, I think I'll draw this to a close, the conclusion. Hopefully I explained things a little bit thorough, a little bit more on this website overview. There may be more to come, as matter of fact, there will be more to come, because as I continue to develop more features of the website, like the carriers such as low and low boards, I'll present another website overview. What I will do, though, I won't go into detail on everything. I'll just go to the points where it needs to be, where the new features have been added. That way, it won't take up a lot of time. It'll be short and sweet. Okay. So again, thanks everyone. I'm going to end the recording now. Everyone have a good evening. Enjoy yourselves. Have a good night.